Hey guys, Sandra here, Plant Rich Sandra. Thank you guys for joining me today. I really appreciate your time. We're going to talk today about fresh carrot juice. Now, how do you make your own fresh carrot juice? And how are you able to avoid having to go down to the store and buying that bottled stuff that claims that it's, carrot juice? Everybody that has had the real thing fresh definitely has said that there is a difference in the quality and the flavor. If you own a juicer, whether it is a cold masticating juicer, top of the line, or a centrifugal juicer, middle of the line, like a Jack LaLanne, that's great. If you own a Vitamix that can take carrots and puree them up really well, that's great too. It's not quite as good as the real thing, but it is nice. But let's say that you live in a small apartment and you don't have room for a separate juicer along with your blender, etc. Or if you can't afford the nicer juicer or the mid-level juicer or even a Vitamix, what do you do if you want fresh carrot juice? So that's what we're going to talk about today, is how to make your own fresh carrot juice if you have a mid-level blender. And I have right here my very first mid-level really nice blender after I became a nutritarian is a Ninja. I think it was called a Ninja Professional, which I got at Walmart. And so the very first time I ever made my own fresh carrot juice, this is what I used. So first thing you need to do though is to hop on Amazon and order one of these. This is called a nut milk bag, and you definitely need a nut milk bag in order to make fresh carrot juice with a regular blender, with a mid-level blender like this. Okay, so that's the first thing, is get on Amazon and order nut milk bag. They're very inexpensive. All right, so that is what you're going to do. Once you get that, then I peeled and I sliced very thinly, like that, super thin. And that is the most time-consuming part if you're going to be doing this with a regular blender, is just getting them in pieces that are very small like this. Okay, so we're going to put some in here. And I just want to mention, if you're doing this with a real juicer, what you're going to get is nothing but pure carrot juice, which is what you're really looking for there. But doing this with a Ninja, you're going to have to fake it a little bit. You're going to add water to it and then keep blending it, stirring it down, take the lid off, stir it down some more, and try to turn it into as much of a puree as possible. Then you're going to pour that through this nut milk bag into a bowl and squeeze it tight and get out as much of that liquid as you can. And that is how you're going to get your carrot juice. So we're going to take some water. Okay, now you can use filtered water, you can use bottled water if you want to here. I'm just going to put a little bit of water in there, and I may have to add more, but I'm going to start, like this. Okay, I'm not doing any measuring here, I'm just mixing this in. Okay, put a lid on it there. And I am going to cut this. I'm not going to make you sit here and listen to this run, but we're going to go ahead and turn this on. I'm going to put it on blend. I'm going to do this some more. I'm going to take the lid off here and brush this down the sides. Okay, my good one, my long one, is over next door, so I'm just going to brush this down a little bit. Try to get all those pieces in there, get where you can see this a little bit better. And of course it's still pretty, pretty grainy in there and chunky. So this is going to take a few minutes. You have to decide if you're going to invest in a nicer one or in a juicer, then this is like done. But then there's the storage, etc. And so when you're doing it this way, you have to invest time into it, and you're not investing the money, but you're investing your time into it. Okay, so I've blended for quite a while here, and this is what we've got when we're dealing here with a Ninja. By the way, I just want to say that this type of blade, the triple triple decker blade there, is, you know, with a Ninja, you can't you don't have a tamper that you can push down in there and kind of stir things while it's going, because you do have, well, for one thing, you've got this going on, so you can't really put a tamper in there. All right, so give this a little stir and I'll show you what this looks like. Alright, so what we have here is a pulp like this, okay, and I'm going to move my Ninja out of the way now a little bit. I just have a large bowl here, and so all I'm going to do now is just pour the carrot pulp through the nut milk bag and into this bowl. I'm going to go ahead and just get it all at once. Okay, so this is what you've got right here. Is your nut milk bag full of your carrot pulp. And then you're going to just squeeze this down into the bowl. This is so much easier to do in a wide mouth bowl than it is like into a pitcher. Okay, this is just, you know, you kind of have a little more room here to work. What can you do with carrot pulp? I admit I have yet to do anything with it. I had all these grand schemes the first time, and I stored the pulp in the refrigerator, you know, with an idea that I would try to make some little crackers, etc., or I would add it to a soup. But you know, I think I did add it to one soup one time, but it does make it I think a little grainy. And I have a dehydrator, but I've just never used it to make any of the little crackers. So when you're done with the nut milk bag, just you can rinse it out, wash it in your dishwater there, turn it inside out, wash it, scrub it a little bit with your scrubber, and let it air dry until the next time. Or you can rinse it out and then toss it into your laundry. You can do it either way, but they are reusable for a long time. You could also use cheesecloth. I really like this nylon nut milk bag. Okay, I think I've squeezed just about all that my hands can squeeze. I don't have the strongest grip in the world, so I've gotten out about as much as I can. Obviously, if I had my juicer over here, then, you know, this would have been so much quicker. I wouldn't have had to slice my carrots up so thinly. I could have sent them through that thing. I wouldn't have had extra water in there. It would have been pure, just juice straight from the carrots. But I was just wanting to demonstrate to you. Okay, so now I'm just going to take this pitcher and a funnel and put it in here, and I'm going to make more because I have a recipe I want to do with this. Okay, several recipes actually. Okay, so can you see what that looks like there? I don't know if you can or not. Okay, so out of the carrots that I had, which was, I believe it was 3 extremely large carrots, because I bought some beautiful carrots today. I've got these that I'm also going to juice tonight for 1 or 2 recipes. So with the 3 really large carrots and the way I did it, what is that coming to there? It's about almost 2 cups worth that I got out of that. Okay, now you can drink carrot juice fresh, and it's really good. in my opinion, tastes a lot better than celery juice. You can do that, but I'm going to use this along with the rest of those in a recipe that I'm also planning on making a video on. All right, so that is how you make carrot juice with a Ninja, the Vitamix. And I'm sure that there are many of you who know everything about a Vitamix, probably a lot more than me. But in the beginning for me, 4 years ago, and as I became a nutritarian, I didn't know anything, really. I had an old Hamilton Beach blender that I had not used in years to make anything, and my Ninja Professional was my first experience, and hopping onto YouTube to learn was the way I was learning. And so there might be many of you who are learning for the first time. The first time I saw a Vitamix, I mean, I'd heard the term, but I'm like, how does that work? You know, how are they sticking that tamper down in there? Because all I had known up until then was my Ninja, and it had the 3 levels. So I didn't understand until I finally had a chance to see one on how it has just the tiny blades at the bottom like that, but the motor is so strong that it can do so much even with just those little blades in it. And then you just put your tamper in there. Okay, so you just put the lid on and you tamp it down, and you can actually do a little bit of stirring with the tamper, etc. So it's quite nice, very powerful. So now we're going to make some fresh carrot juice, and this time I did not take the time to chop them up as finely as I did for the Ninja. I left them a little bit chunkier so it didn't take me nearly as long. We're going to put some in here. I'm going to put all of this. This is more carrots than I had chopped up together. Okay. And we're going to put this little lid on here. Going to pour a little water in there. Okay. Let us find out if that is enough water. All right, so we're going to take our tamper. Instead of using the little plastic lid that comes with it, we're going to let the tamper be our lid. That is doing so well that I'm going to go ahead and just add the rest of those carrots in, but not add more water, because the Vitamix is doing a really, really good job of blending this. So, making a puree out of it, I should say. Quite a suction going on in there. It's just pulling it straight down. All right, so there you have it. That is pretty thick. I'm just going to see what happens here. If I had to add more water, I could run it back through the nut milk bag, pour it back in with the pulp and add more water to it and give it another good blend. But let's just see what I get out of this. Just like with the other one, just like with the Ninja, a lot more juice is coming out here. I didn't add a whole lot of more water, but a lot more juice is coming out because it's finer. It did a better job of chewing it up, of masticating the carrots. Okay, that's about all I'm going to get out of that, probably. So now we're going to get my pitcher again here. And like I said, that was up to almost 16 ounces from the first 2 carrots, or first 3 carrots from the Ninja. I think this is going to give me what I need, which is, if I have the opportunity to make the recipe I want to make tomorrow, it called for 5 cups. Okay, so that gave me 40 ounces in there. And I have 4 more carrots that were those size. I did not peel them to turn them into juice yet because I needed some of them for other purposes. But what I have right here, I could always just, you know, thin that out a little bit with water if I need to, or just use it like this. But anyway, so there you've got how to make carrot juice if you don't own a juicer. And I showed you first with the Ninja Professional, and then with the Vitamix on how to do it. And this is a lifesaver. The nut milk bag is a lifesaver, and there are lots of things, if you're so inclined, that you can do with the pulp if you want to. And so I hope that this was helpful for you, and if so, would you please give me a thumbs up, a carrot and orange thumbs up here. Also, please subscribe. Please feel free to share this with anybody that you would like, anywhere you would like, and click the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I come up with a new video. And I'm trying really, really hard to provide information, helpful information for people who are interested in whole food, plant-based. That is my goal, especially nutritarians. And so the other thing I wanted to say was that I've been working on some, I have a class, it's like a support group, Eat to Live support group, in my hometown here in Webster, Florida, on Monday nights, almost every Monday night, 6:30 at our community building. And I created a Facebook page for people so that we can post information, you know, the people who come. But if you are interested in joining that little Facebook group, you're more than welcome to. And it is called Webster Eats to Live, and then in parentheses, Nutritarian. And just send me a join request, and I'll be happy to add you to that group. And I give them some information at the beginning of each meeting, and I have that in a handout form, and I'd be happy to email you those handouts if you would like to have that. You can email me at sanka61@yahoo.com. Sanka, like the old decaf coffee, 61, the year I was born, @yahoo.com, and I will send you the documents I've made so far, and then continue to send them to you as I create new documents. So thanks again for joining me this evening, and hope everybody has a great day, and we'll talk to y'all again soon. Bye.